Hi Michael, Oceana here with G3 Agency. This is that free video that we promised to send over about how to get your website in front of people searching on Google for your services. The idea behind this video is that you can take this information and run with it. You can take this to another agency if you want to. You can do this stuff on your own. I'm just here to give you the best information that I have. So let's jump right in. So the first thing is I'm very happily surprised to see that you've got your phone number here. A lot of people really they don't think to put their phone number at the top of the page, and that's surprising. So well done on that. But I would make it a click to call. You can see how down in the corner it's hard to show you. Right here, keep an eye on this spot right here while I go like this. See how it says TEL and then colon? So what you want to do is actually have that be a link. So it'll have TEL colon and then your phone number with no dashes, no spaces, no parentheses or anything, just the numbers in a row. And what that'll do is when a person is on their phone, they can click that and it'll just pull up their phone app, which I don't have a phone app right now. But and then you also want to do that with any other time that you have your phone number listed. Also, a way to have a dog on the site. That's always extra brownie points with me. You can see my room is covered in dogs. Um, and then the next thing I want to talk about is content. So you want to have, lots of content on your site. Basically, a bunch of words that are talking about, what you do, how you do it, where you do it. Because Google is using that to find out who the expert is, and you want to be the expert in Google's eyes. Google sees you as the expert if you have the most relevant information. And then you also want to include in your words that you have on your site these specific phrases that people are actually typing into Google when they're looking for your services. For instance, carpet cleaning Chicago. This term is getting searched about 1.2 thousand times a month. So that's a lot of people searching for your services. Now this has a little bit of a higher KD than we usually go after for a beginner. This is a 23 out of 100. That sounds pretty low, but we really like to go after something like 10 and below. So that's why I chose to focus on this carpet cleaners, Aurora, Illinois. This is basically how competitive it is to get to the first page of Google. So the higher the number on this, the longer it's going to take to get to the first page. So the more waiting and investing you'll have to do before you actually get to see results. So that's why I like to go after these smaller numbers here. So that way, if you're doing this on your own, you don't get too discouraged because it's taken too long. And then over here, we've got, the amount of times that it's searched once again. So we've got 200 people looking for your services in the Aurora, Illinois area. And if you're willing to travel over there, which it didn't look too far to me. So, I'm not familiar with the area, but it looked pretty close. So let's check that out. So once you decide you want to be seen for a certain keyword, I'm going to show you basically what you do after that. So first you want to put it into Google, see what you're up against. So here is the maps section. How you get up into the maps section is with citations. So first you want to make sure that your Google My Business listing is up to date and accurate. Specifically, you want your name, address, and phone number to be perfect, because then you're going to take that same information and put it all over different directories like Yelp, Yext, CityStar, White Pages, Yellow Pages. I could go on. There are lots to choose from. But the more times you list your information on these different directories, basically the more trust Google will have in you that you really serve this area, and that's going to help you be seen in the maps. Basically, if you end up in the top 3 of any maps, for any maps, oh my gosh, why am I losing the word? Result, you'll end up on this first page of Google, which is really nice because that'll drive a lot of people to your website, and it'll also result in a lot of phone calls. And then down here, this is the organic section. This link right here will get more clicks than any other link on this page statistically, but I'm not going to compare you to them because it's Yelp, and so since they're a big directory, it doesn't make sense to compare you to them as much as it makes sense to compare you to OxyFresh, which is actually a competitor of yours. You probably recognize this competitor by name. It's a franchise, a national brand with a franchise in your local area. So what we want to do is take a look at their website and figure out what it is that they're doing right, that they're sitting up there at the top, and what it is that we could do to beat them. So first I'm looking for uh, content. How many words are on the page? Because you're going to want to have more words than them. It's, you know, if they have 1,000 words, you want to go for at least 1,500. You know, so and then you want to make sure that when you create this the content that you're including these words that we want to show up for. And you can actually start including and going after all of these all at once, but you're going to start seeing leads coming in from this one before you see leads coming in from this one, before you see leads coming in from this one because of these competition ratings. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh, yes, you want to also include your keywords in your images. And by that I mean, if I right click on this image and I click Save Image As, I can see this image was uploaded with the name apartment.jpg. So that might be fine for, you know, the person building the website trying to figure out where to put things or whatever. But what would be more helpful is if they actually had saved the images as these keywords so that that image would be called like carpet cleaning Chicago instead. And so that would be another signal to Google when they type in carpet cleaning Chicago that you should be the one to show up there. I'm going to copy this over. I'm trying to see if they have, since they're showing up so high, I want to see if they actually have this exact phrase in their, and they don't. They do not have this exact phrase in their website at all. So that means that if you had that exact phrase in your, I'll show you, that exact phrase in your website a few times, then that would be another way to get ahead there. And then if I go over here, you can see this. This is their website. This is, well, this isn't their website. This is a tool that I use. It's the same tool that I use to get the keyword research, but this time I'm using another function of it called the Site Explorer. And basically, this is giving me some important metrics about this very specific page, the one that's beating us out on, for that keyword we want to be found for. So this score right here, this is the UR score. It's basically showing how trusted Google thinks that this page is. And then the DR score is how trusted Google thinks that their entire website is. And as you can see, the DR score is much higher. And that's because they're a national brand. So they've got a very large website. Pardon, I'm back. We have their DR score is much higher, and that's, like I said, it was because they are a national brand. They've got a huge website, and they've been working on it for a long time. But luckily for us, we don't have to beat their entire brand. We're just trying to beat this one page sitting on this one keyword. So this is what we're more worried about. And how we raise your score, which, by the way, we can look at your score right here. This is, I put your website in here. And you've got a UR of 8 and a DR of 5. So that's a pretty good start, especially since you only have a couple of referring domains. So let's see what those are actually. I can see what websites have a link from their site to yours. Because every time that there's a link from another website that goes to your site, that's called a backlink. The site that that link is on is called a referring domain, and that referring domain does you a favor whenever they have a link on there to your site by lending you whatever power they have. This DR score is the same as the same metric as on the last page where you had the DR score that showed how trustworthy your entire website is. Well, this is the same thing except for these websites. So these both have a link on their site to yours, and local.yahoo is sending you a lot of power and popularity, and NKC, maybe that's like, I don't know what that stands for, chamber.com has a DR score of 32. So it's passing power too, but just not quite as much. And so that's going to have an impact on you, and a positive impact. If these were like zeros, which let's see, they probably have, let's see what their websites are. Okay, so they have a pretty good backlink profile as well. This is pretty healthy. But you want to be careful as you go out and find more websites to put links on their site to yours, that you're not going out and getting like a bunch of low quality websites with like zeros and ones and low numbers like that. You want to make sure to go after sites that have a higher score there, so that will pull you up rather than push you down. Okay, so I hope that I explained everything in a way that is understandable. Thank you so much for the time for watching this, and I hope that you get something out of it and you're able to go and grow your business with this information. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer them. And of course, if you have any feedback for me, I would really love to hear whether you liked this, whether it was extremely boring or, or anything in between. Thank you so much again for your time, and have a wonderful weekend.